Hello everyone, welcome to AnyAut Certified Tester program, which is a part of JPact. So today we'll briefly talk about what we have to cover in this AnyAut Certified Tester program and what you could expect and what is expected from your side. Okay, and first we'll briefly talk about uh, AnyAut application. Okay, so about web application, about uh, Excel. So let me, before that, moving further, I have created two polls just to check the audience. So let me launch the poll and please reply. Uh, okay. So on your screen, you can see, uh, are you currently a JPact member? Okay. So 56% people voted. Team, quickly answer this question, and then I have another poll. Okay, 85% people have voted for this till now. Okay, another 10 seconds and I'm going to close this. Okay, here we go. I'll close this poll. Okay, so on your screen, you can see we have, so around 58% people say they are part of this JPact program. Okay, and 42% people are new who are not part of JPact. That's good. Okay, so let me launch another poll, and that is, are you aware of AnyAut? Okay, so please try to answer this. I'll answer, Priya, your question about what is a JPact member. So I have received 94% of vote for this. Okay, another 10 seconds and I'll close this poll. Okay, all right. Thank you everyone for answering this. Let me close this and let me share this. So 35% people who are aware of uh, AnyAut, what is AnyAut, and 35% people say they have heard about AnyAut. Okay, and around 30% we have 29% people say they don't have idea about AnyAut. So first I will explain what is AnyAut. Okay, so let me go to this website. Okay, AnyAut website. So what is AnyAut team? AnyAut is any application under test. Okay, so we are building this up, this web portal, which will be uh, you can any client or any person can use for their Selenium test automation. Okay, and they can execute easily. They don't have to code anything, they don't have to write any script. So this application will have inbuilt framework, okay, behind this web portal. And uh, when you enter all your I'll explain what are the things we have to give input as an input. and with a single click, all your means whatever you have selected to run your test cases, that will be executed, and the reports will be generated, and email will be sent to whomever you want to send emails. So this AnyAut application will be helpful for those people who want to quickly automate any application, and they don't want to do any uh, uh, they don't want to write a single line of code, okay, to create a framework. So this AnyAut is built on Selenium with Java, okay. So it has WebDriver, Java, TestNG, Maven behind it, Grid, all those it will have in framework, okay. And it's a kind of hybrid framework which is uses page object, data driven, keyword driven automation with different data sets, okay. So it utilizes different features of the frameworks you have heard, and this is a very UI friendly team. It is very UI friendly. I'll just show you how any person who doesn't want to do a single line of coding, how they can go easily and automate an application. Okay, and then at the end it generates beautiful reports, customized HTML reports, and other reports will be generated. All right. So uh, having said that, let me move to this is just a web portal. It is not integrated till with the actual AnyAut application that has framework. So let me go to this environment. Okay. So here I have just registered on this team. So anybody can register on this, and Uh, here we have dashboard. Okay, dashboard is not yet completed, but it will be. So it will show all those details, whatever the modules, test cases, all those things you have entered, reports, everything it will show. Okay. Now to proceed further, uh, we have this test setup module. Okay, under this test setup, uh, any or details. Okay. So here we have to provide automate application under test details. Okay, so here we can enter application under test name, URL of live version, and what kind of industry it is. Okay, and you can submit. So this is mainly related to what kind of application you are going to automate, and URL. Okay, then we have you might have different modules inside that application, right? So you have to enter those modules here. So one by one you can add those modules, and we are also providing uh, I hope that is not yet implemented, but you can upload so certain kind of CSV or Excel file, so that will be later I think done. But you can enter modules, module name, module ID, and this it's a description. Then we have add test cases. Okay, so we can select module ID from here for which module you are giving this test case. Okay, so you might have wrote a number of test cases. Okay, suppose for a login or any other module. So you can select module whatever you have created in a previous screen, and you can write test case ID, test case description, and you can add those test cases. Okay, so this is only you can enter test case ID and test case description, but main steps you will enter here. Here you will select uh, all your one by one you can select your test cases. Okay, and you can enter steps. Okay, so here you can see test case ID, step description, low level keyword. Okay, so this will I will explain what is low level keyword. Okay, and what is high level keyword, but for time being just forget about these things. And element ID. Okay, this will also see when I will explain through it Excel sheet. So element ID is nothing but whatever action you want to perform on any element on the web page, that ID you can select from here. Okay, and if it is set sorry, if it is a text box or it is a select drop down list something, so you have to provide data, right? So you can select data from here, and these will come from the uh, modules, means you have to configure these things. Okay, now from here you can go to element map. Okay, and you can enter URL page where this element is, because there will be a different modules, so you can enter all those URLs, element page URL, ID, element name, and XPath. Okay, and here you can enter test data, whatever you see there, right? So uh, for the different data sets we have given, like you have to provide uh, test data set ID and test data ID, name, and what kind of data you want to enter. Okay, and we can also add HLK here, high level keywords. So in AnyAut we say HLK. So you can enter HLK ID and it will be linked with the low level keyword. Okay, and then you have to select for which element ID you want to map. All right, so and then you can enter test data for which test data you want to enter or map with this element. Okay, so once you are done with these steps, you will be you will be in good positions to run this test. So this is required to enter all your test cases. Okay, all your test cases, all your modules, everything should be completed before you go and run. Okay, so another thing we have is I think this module all test run and test results are not ready yet, whatever the application I have currently in this environment, but Atomic 77 team is working on this. Okay, so I hope you got a basic idea how AnyAut works. Okay, so if you have any question, just ping me, or I'll just move to Excel sheet where we have actual framework. I'll show you. There is not a framework, but it takes all those inputs from that Excel sheet. Okay. There's a question, can we use this in the work atmosphere after it releases? Yes, of course. Yes, of course you can use. Uh, Suppose you want to use this application, so you have to be uh, registered with AnyAut. Okay, and then you can utilize that where you want to work. Okay, with this application. So this very user-friendly application. Okay, and very easy steps to set up your test uh, run and then execute. So you don't have to see what I have to write some Selenium script, Java script, handle this thing. All those things will be handled behind this web portal. Okay, so why I'm telling about these things, because this is for AnyAut certified tester. So we are not talking anything about scripting part, Selenium, Java, anything. Uh, when we'll proceed, means the next program will be AnyAut certified developer. There we will expect that any person who want to be a AnyAut certified developer, he knows about Selenium, he knows about Java, he knows about how to set up a framework. So we will train on that, how to, suppose you have to develop some other enhancement or something, so they should be able to do that. So those person will be AnyAut certified developer. But this is purely for people who doesn't want to code, or they don't like coding, or they they haven't any experience in coding, but they want to use this application and they want to automate any application. So this is the training for those people. Okay, but anyone is most welcome to join. So let me go through some questions. Is it an automation tool, or it is like a test management tool like Jira or ALM? So uh, it's a mixed kind of, it's basically automation tool. Okay, AnyAut is an automation tool, uh, which is behind of this application. Selenium works. Okay, it is purely based on Selenium with Java. So you can say it's like a management tool, but like many other things to be, this application doesn't support at this point of time, but in coming future it might also, you will see uh, it can evolve like a ALM or Jira. So currently it is only, you can say it is a automation tool, but surely the team has direction to build like a test or management tool, where you can manage your test, you can run from the here only. So everything you can do from AnyAut. Okay, so that is there in features, but it is not implemented yet. Okay, so another question is, we need to create a test data. Of course we need to create test data. Okay, so because any specific application requires some specific data, so for that we need to create. Okay, and once we create the test data, we can map with just I with elements and low level keywords, all those things I have showed you, right? So that thing we need to do. So what is the status of this tool from the development uh, deployment perspective? So currently it is available till where you can go and add your test modules, your test cases, steps. You can map your element ID and you can start execution. Okay, so currently it has this much, but here also we are providing this feature. You can write your all your test cases inside this. Okay, but different things like versioning kind of thing and other manual execution, those things are not there, because uh, it only provides once you enter all your details of test cases, your application details, and you can start execution. So that will take care. Okay, so at this point of time, this much feature it has AnyAut. All right, so any other question before moving to Excel sheet, where we have started this AnyAut framework? Okay, and you will see the similar kind of setup in the Excel as well. Okay, so another question is, no need to write a script to test. That means, will AnyAut create scripts? So AnyAut will not create a script. Okay, it is behind the AnyAut portal. There is a framework. Okay, that our team has developed. Okay, so once you enter all these details, okay, about your application under test modules, test cases, it will create a, a test run setup kind of thing. Okay, which will map each test step with element ID, keywords, test data, everything. It will be mapped in a single page, and from where it will, when you start execution, that uh, framework will start picking up the uh, things line by line, whatever you have entered, and based on that keywords, your elements, your URL, it will start execution. Okay, so it is not generating any script, but it's taking the basic test setup information from you, and based on that it will start execution. Okay, I hope I answered your question. Is it HP product? No, it is not HP product. It's purely IT learn product. Okay, so this is based on Selenium. So this is not any other vendor product. This is a IT learn product. Okay. So another question is, do you have any time line by which tool will be deployed with full functionality so that we can have a hands-on practice? Sure. During this program, will give you application so that you can practice with this, and in this AnyAut's certified tester program will provide you hands-on experience how you can uh, play with this application, and how you will be able to create independently this if you have to create a script. Uh, uh, I would not say script. Suppose you have to automate some new feature or new test cases, how you can do that. So those things we will discuss in this program. Okay. So can you please give URL? So URL, don't take this URL. I might have a older version. So we will provide you that URL. Don't worry about this. In coming session, we'll provide about this. What stage going on AnyAut? I did not get this question, Kusal. What stage going on AnyAut? I'm not sure what the question is. Can you explain a little bit, Kusal? Okay, so if Kusal, you can explain what you are asking, so I can explain, and I'll come back to this question. So let me quickly go to Excel sheet. Okay. All right, team. So here we have. Okay, let me see. Some questions were there. So let me see if there's any other question. Um, is this AnyAut is allowed at any client place? So if client has so that will be discussed later, okay, like license things and any other things, but if uh, if any client want to use for a pilot project, okay, for just to get a hands-on on this, so yes, they of course they can use this. Okay. uh, with regards to automating functionality, of course they can, client can use, but there will be some term and conditions. So uh, I don't want to go into that, but yeah, that anybody can use this based on the license agreement. Okay. um, any other question? We have to write our own test cases. Of course you have to write, right? So you have, if you have any application, so you might have test cases earlier, or if it is new applications, you will go and write test cases, and then those test cases you'll map with this AnyAut. All right. So either you can go directly write your test cases inside this AnyAut web portal, or if you have already written those test cases, you can just map. All right. So this is way how it works. So let me go and explain about this Excel sheet. Okay, so similar things you will find here also, team. Test setup. Okay, so this is test setup Excel, where we will provide all those informations whatever we discuss in AnyAut web portal. So here also we have to provide uh, application name, URL, and what kind of industry it is. Okay, this is the basic information. And then we have modules, right? So in modules, suppose if I talk about, this is interrupt, I'm talking about here. Interrupt was the one uh, uh, application we use to communicate with trainees. So it's a trainers and trainee communications application. So where any trainer can communicate to if they want to send some message, some exercises to trainees, they can directly send. Okay, so this application, suppose it has admin, trainers, trainees, and other modules. So you can list out here. You can provide IDs and you can provide description. So based on you want to execute whatever the modules are here, you can select yes, and if you don't want to execute, you can escape that, just provide by N. So Y means yes, you want to execute this module, and N means no, you don't want to execute. So whatever the Y you have given, those number of modules will be executed. Okay. All right. So once you are done with the modules, one second. Okay. So I was talking about once you are done with module. So here we have to provide what are the test cases we have for that module, right? So suppose we have admin module. Okay, so in admin module we have a different number of test cases. Suppose any functional QA has written, then we have to provide like admin login, incorrect login, number of test cases you can write, right? So those test cases you can give here, and we provide IDs. Okay, so that ID will be helpful to um, uh, identify any test case, and we can provide description in the same way. Means which test case we want to execute, so you can, based on that, you can provide execute. Okay, so this is kind of flag, yes or no, you can set from here. And test data, so I'll explain here. We have so why we say this is a hybrid framework is, we have if you want to run for different data set. Okay, so what you can do, let me first go to this test data. Okay, so if you see this test data, we have different columns for different uh, test data set, right? So TD01 test data 0, 2, 3, 4, 5. So number of test data set you can provide with different columns. Okay, so this is why we are providing here. So suppose first test case you want to run for only one data set. Okay, so you can provide TD01. Suppose you want to execute a second test case for two data sets, so you can provide 0, 2 and 0, 3. Suppose you want to pick from TD02 column. Okay, so suppose you want to execute for all data set you have in test data column, so you can provide all here. Okay, you can just write all, and it will execute for all your test data set whatever you have, right? So I hope till now it is clear to you. Okay, so there is a question, so you are showing us the backend of AnyAut. So um, you can say this is not a backend currently. Earlier it was started with Excel. Okay, now it is a web application. Okay, so this is not backend. AnyAut application backend will be a framework, okay, which I'm not going to show you in this session. All right, so this Excel file will give you a good overview of AnyAut, how it works. If you're not able to get from the web application, you'll be able to relate those things from this Excel. Okay, so earlier it was started with we created a framework which basically based on this test setup Excel file, but now this functionality is moved to a web portal, AnyAut web portal, and backend of that AnyAut portal is your our framework, AnyAut framework. All right, where we have all those library files, all those keywords or those classes, everything will be Java classes. So that is actually a framework, and this is just we mapping test cases, elements, and all those things. All right. So is this course not for fresher? Of course, anybody can be a certified AnyAut program tester, right? So anybody who has experience or who has not experience, they can get the certifications of this. Okay, and they can, so they will be, if they know this how to use AnyAut application. So suppose if you get some enhancement or in your application and you have to write some test case, so this is basically meant for a QA person, functional person, not automation person, a functional QA person who want to use AnyAut. Okay, so suppose a client is using AnyAut and you are hired as a functional QA, so you can directly go to this. Suppose that client is using this AnyAut application, so you can, because you already know about this how AnyAut works. Okay, so you can, so it doesn't depend on you have experience or you don't have. If you are a part of this program, you'll be able to know all those details required for a functional QA to set up a run from this AnyAut. Okay, so I hope I answered your question. So no experience are required, whether you are a fresher or experienced people, and if you want to be a AnyAut certified tester, so anybody can join this program. So because there is no prior expense required unless you have little bit idea of uh, about QA testing concepts. Okay, because you should know why, right, about what is the test case, what is tested data, and those details, right? So let's move on, team. So I was talking about a test case. Here we can set up and map with the test data, right? Now the fourth module is, let me increase little bit the zoom level. All right, so here you can, in test steps, you can see we have module ID, whatever we have given in module worksheet, right? And then we have test case ID. So based on module we can select test case IDs, and we can provide test step IDs here, right, in this column. And steps description is whatever you are doing manually. Okay, so suppose you have written a test case, or open a browser, navigate to this URL, click on this button, enter username, password, click login button. All those manual steps will go in this steps description. Whatever your test case will do, you have to enter all those details here. Okay. In the similar way, if I take any other test case, suppose I want to add a course. Okay, so you have to log in as admin, you have to click on link as courses, you have to click add course, then you have to enter course name, description, batch, submit. So whatever you do manually, those things you have to provide in test steps. Okay, now the keyword you have to provide here is this is we have divided in between low level keywords and high level keywords. Okay, so we'll discuss about this, but currently just take a note as for any we can provide as a uh, low level keywords. So low level keywords, all those keywords will be mapped with the library from where it will pick the particular keyword. So this is keyword. Okay, so where we have keywords defined like open browser, navigate browser, click link, everything. So that we have to map. Okay, so suppose first line says, first step description says open a browser. Okay, so we have keyword like open browser, very simple keywords to map with. Okay, we have a list of these keywords, okay, with us. So open browser, navigate, if you have to click somewhere on link, we have click link. You have to, if you have to enter some data and text, so you can use type text. So those things like click button, you have to map. Then here you have to map with element. These are not the exact elements, we are just giving them mapping. So element will be somewhere else. I'll just show you. It is in another worksheet, and this is test data. So we have given hash browser name, hash URL, hash admin username, and like these things. So let's first go to element ID. So here uh, we have provided like which page it is. Okay, so based on that page, which element. Okay, so for suppose login page. So login page we have uh, suppose username, password, login button. Three elements we have, right? So that what we have provided in the test steps, right? We have provided at the rate admin underscore login username. So it will pick this XPath from here, this element ID. Okay. In the same way, we have provided test data ID there in test steps like hash browser name, hash browser URL. So based on the which test data set you have given, it will pick from there. Okay, so this is how it works, team. So once you are done with the test setup, and then we are done. Okay, then we have to go and execute from test run. Okay, so it will pick from whatever we have given input here. It will pick, it will create a test run setup. Okay, uh, I think we have renamed to another Excel. So it will create a run setup Excel, and then it will pick from here, there, and it will start execution. So our job will be as a AnyAut certified tester to set up these things. Okay. So I don't think here any scripting is involved, or you have to just knowledge up like well, how we set up this Excel or that in your portal, and these things like you should have some basic knowledge of how we identify element, how we create XPath. Okay, and if it's not there, you can take help of automation engineer, and they can provide you all those element IDs. So we have to just map those things. Okay, so if I go to high level key. So here we have provided high level keyword. So we have mapped high level keyword like admin login. So all those things will be mapped with lower level of keyword, low level keyword. Okay, so open browser, navigate browser, all those things will be mapped here. And list of low level keywords we have here. Okay, so for anything like browser, button, check boxes, for everything we have keywords, and that has been mapped in low level keywords. Okay, edit, image, key, list, link, everything we have here. Okay, so uh, any question on this? If you have any question on this Excel sheet. So I hope you got the good idea how uh, this AnyAut, the setup part will work. Okay, so how we set up for any execution. If we have some test cases, how we'll automate. So automate means how we'll provide the uh, test setup thing, and then it can start execution. Okay, in coming sessions, we will mainly focus on, suppose you got some new test case or new enhanced functionalities. So how we have to create. Okay, so those details will talk in coming sessions. Okay, let me go through a few questions. Is it mostly descriptive programming if we use automation? So this was the concept in QTP, right? UFT descriptive programming. But here uh, we are using Selenium with Java. So we have mapped with uh, element IDs with low level keywords, and those will be picked. So it is totally based on Selenium with Java concepts. Okay. What are high level keywords? So high level keywords are there we have provided uh, with some keywords inside that. If you want to use some modules, okay, as a high level, inside that there will be that will also be mapped with some low level keywords. Okay, so don't confuse this between high level keywords and low level keywords. We will explain in coming sessions how you can identify, how you can because already we have low level keywords with us. Okay, and if you have to identify and create any high level keyword, we will explain how you can create and how you can map with a low level keyword. Okay, so at this point of time I just want to focus you on how this test setup works. Okay, and if I ask you to go and create a new test case, new set up a new test set up a new test case using this AnyAut framework, right? So you'll be in the position to go and just create this. Okay, so please hold on these questions like how to identify keywords, how to identify low level keywords. Those will be explained in very detailed manner. Okay, can you please share the Excel sheet which will be helpful? So of course it will be shared with JPAC members. Okay, I hope many JPAC members already have this. So but yeah, we'll share. um, Another question is, this is developed for Interact. So for automation in any other website, do we have to develop from scratch? No, Sujit. So as I in the beginning I said, AnyAut is any under application under test. So this is just an example of uh, AnyAut. Sorry, this is just an example of Interrupt. Okay. Suppose you want to use any other application. So we will show you how you can create a test setup for any a new application. Okay, So don't worry about this. We'll talk on these in coming sessions. So this is not application dependent framework. We just have to work on test setup, where our AnyAut certified tester will work to set up this uh, test setup, and then if you are done with configuration, you can run any application. Okay. Whether we need to create test cases for AnyAut app, if we are particularly testing AnyAut application, then yes, of course we need to create, right? So the next question is, this tool simplifies what is done in automation testing. In Selenium, for instance, we do linear functional decomposition, data-driven, keyword-driven framework. I think this tool is doing all of for us. Yes, of course. And we do not need to know the programming. I'm correct. Yes, that's absolutely correct. We It combines all those features where uh, like uh, creating a script, setting a framework from scratch, handling different things. So those things will be handled by framework. And any person who want to use this, they don't want to worry about writing Selenium scripts, hundreds of scripts. Uh, if you have to run a cross-browser testing, then you have to worry. I have to write uh, a grid and then set up grid and node and all those things. So those things will be taken care by this framework. So absolutely, it will take care everything whatever you face in real life when you go and automate any application. All right, so Lakshmi, yes, I hope as an assignment, if you are writing a test case, if you are testing any other application in particular, so you have to write test cases for that. So that's correct. But our internal team, Atomic 77 internal team, they actually go and test this AnyAut application. Okay. So that's it for today, team. If you have any question, I can answer those things. Okay. Another question is, what is AnyAut certified tester program and what this process? Uh, I was from last 45 minutes, I hope I was explaining about this. What is AnyAut certified tester is? So let me explain it again. AnyAut certified tester program will help you to, we will train you on this AnyAut, okay, uh, tool. And you can mention on your resume, and so suppose any client is using this AnyAut, okay. So if they ask if you are comfortable with AnyAut, like Selenium a tool, take example of Selenium as a tool. You mention on your resume, you go for interview and you say, I have experience in Selenium or I have worked with Selenium. Okay. So then there will be some questions. If you answer those questions, okay, you will be hired. And you have to work on this. In the similar way, AnyAut we will provide certifications to the people who have done hands-on experience on this. And if they go out and any client is required to work on AnyAut, okay, then if you say yes, I am a certified AnyAut tester, so definitely you will be have edge over other candidates, okay. And but if a client is not using AnyAut and you just uh, functional QA, you'll get all those information how a framework setup works. So you'll get a basic idea, okay. It will work for any other tool or any other framework also. This will give a high level, very good idea how you can set up a test run for any framework. Okay. So next question is for JPEG Master, do you share this Excel files? Yes, of course we'll share. Okay, I have all those email IDs of JPAC members. Does AnyAut client have that AnyAut have clients? Yes, of course. Our sales team is in talk and many things are pipeline. I don't want to talk on those things, but of course it has. What is the schedule timing for this course? As a JPAC member, I am participating in the manual testing classes and Selenium, so the question will be go parallel with JPAC class. Yes, of course, this will go parallel with JPAC other batches. So yes, of course, this will be a little hectic, but yes, we have to do. Okay, so any other question, team? When we will start work on this project? Project means this AnyAut certified tester program, you mean? Okay, then we have uh, uh, we have two demo sessions. One is today and another is tomorrow, and then we have next week. We have a complete sessions of this. Okay. Um, when I'm another question is when I'm an automate cert on AnyAut certified, am I applying job as a manual tester, not as an automation tester? Yes. So if you are AnyAut certified tester, it means um, any functional QA. I would say yes. Manual as a manual functional QA, you'll be able to set up. You know the setup part. You know the configuration part, but you don't know the scripting part. If you know scripting part, that's very good. Uh, but yes, for applied jobs, you can apply as a functional QA who knows AnyAut setup. That's the answer for this question. Yes, of course, we will help to prepare for the interviews. Okay. So thank you everyone. Thank you for joining this session. And we have another session coming up just after this session at 7:30. So I have to hard stop here. So people who are joining for Selenium live project, uh, please join back. I'll close this session. Okay. And if you have any question, you can email us at learn@itlearn.com. Okay, we'll be happy to help you. So thank you everyone joining for this session. Let's meet tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.